Hi, YouTube. So you're going to a concert alone, or you're just thinking about it? Either way, I can help you. My name is Kiara, and I've been to a number of concerts all by myself, from small venues like the Bowery Ballroom in New York City to humongous venues like Soldier Field in Chicago, and I've also done a music festival alone. If you're watching this and you're trying to figure out if it's something that you want to do, and the only thing stopping you is an atom of fear in your brain being like, I'm scared, push past it. Push past it. There are a million reasons why someone might go to a concert alone. Maybe they're the only person they know that likes that specific artist. Maybe everyone else they know is busy. Maybe they're the only person in their social circle who has disposable income and is willing to spend it going to a concert. Maybe it's their chosen solo date for the month. Whatever. Whatever. Going with another person is nice, but it's not always possible or desired, so we move. I'm going to start with the pros of going to a concert alone so you feel pumped up and you feel ready to do it. And then we'll follow up with the steps I take to stay safe while doing so. It is way easier to get a ticket when you only need one, especially if you're trying to get a ticket last minute or you're physically pulling up to the box office. I promise you, if you go to that window and you say, "Hi, I only need one," it'll be so much easier for them to help you. They'll be happy to help you, okay? Whether you're getting your ticket ahead of time or last minute, it's completely up to you what kind of ticket it is. You are wholly in charge of where you are in the venue. So if you're someone who wants to be in GA, someone who wants to be in the pit, you can decide that. It's up to you whether you end up wanting to fight for barricade or hang near the back. If you'd rather have a seat, you can decide that. If you're cool with being in the nosebleeds, you get to decide that. When you go with someone else, you have to worry about compatibility. Sometimes someone has to compromise. Not so here. If you want to spring for VIP, you can decide that. Next, you get to choose how much effort you want to put into your outfit. This is something you can do even if you're going to a concert with other people, right? But I feel like sometimes people try to coordinate their outfits, or one person feels bad because they're one extreme or the other, where like they just want to do like t-shirt and jeans and the rest of their group is dressing up, or vice versa. They want to sew a completely new outfit and the rest of their crew is super casual. In this situation, you can do whatever you want. Next, this is sort of a general catch-all pro, but you get to make every little decision. So whether or not you want to get to the show early or late, whether or not you want to get refreshments, whether or not you're concerned about getting merch, I honestly think like the only real con that you feel in the moment is that you have no one there to take your picture, which is fixable because the odds of someone at the venue asking you to take a picture of them and their friends is super high. And that's a good thing because as soon as that happens and you say, sure, as soon as you take that picture, you're going to turn around and say, hey, could you take mine too? And they have to do it. They have to take your picture because you already did them a solid. If you're feeling brave, you could also offer first to take someone else's picture. Like if you see two people struggling to take a selfie, right? You could just say, hey, I can take your picture if you want. They're probably going to say, yeah. And then as soon as they say, yeah, you have a favor in your back pocket. You can say, do you mind taking mine? Done. Easy. Done. So those are all the pros that I like to think about when I'm going to a concert alone. Now, let's walk through how I do it safely. First, always tell someone you trust where you're going. I usually share my location, but at minimum, you should be sharing the name and the address of the venue, how you plan to get there, and how you plan to get home. Keeping in mind that as you leave, there's probably going to be a sizable crowd that you have to get through. The other thing that I like to do, I like to let my trusted person know what I'm wearing before I leave. So I'll often send a picture or do like a quick FaceTime just so they would be able to describe what I have on. And I like to tell them my ticket info. So you can send a screenshot of your ticket or just tell them where in the venue you're going to be, down to the row in the seat, or if you're going to be in GA, let them know like, hey, I'm going to be in the pit, like hopefully near the front, or hey, I'm going to be in the pit, hopefully near the back, something like that. To that end, you should also always try to get your bearings on the layout of the venue before you arrive. And if there's more than one entrance, know which specific gate you're supposed to go through for your ticket. I also always read the bag policy before I arrive to make sure I don't have any issues, and if possible, I bring a portable charger. And then once you get inside, make a note of the exits, okay? If you're someone who's really scared of feeling awkward during the downtime before the show starts, you can always arrive like way closer to when you think the artist is going to hit the stage. I prefer to arrive a bit early because I like to run my errands before the show starts. The first of my errands and one of my favorite parts about going to a concert beyond seeing the artist perform is getting merch. Now, usually I like to peep what my merch options are ahead of time through pictures or videos that other people post online, but that's not always possible. So, my first stop is always to check out the merch table. One, if I wasn't able to see stuff, now I can actually look at it. But two, even if I was able to see it, I can check out what it looks like in real life and decide, ooh, do I still love that? Or no, that looks gross in person. Or that looked gross online, but it's really cute in real life and I kind of need it. To me, looking at merch is always fun. And if you go alone, it's great because if you are a person who doesn't mind to stand in a long ass merch line, but your friend is not that type of person, you don't have to like argue about it. Vice versa, if you're a person who does not care about merch, you can skip it and you don't have to worry about it at all. Once you decide if you're getting merch, you usually can do it before or after the show, so that's up to you. Like I said before, if there are photo ops, that's a really cute way to spend time. I usually look for like a big poster with the artist's face on it, or if they have some sort of like installation, depending on if it's like a really big tour, there might be like venue workers who are standing there that take your phone and take your picture, or like we already talked about, you could ask a stranger, or you can take a selfie. Selfies work. I've done that before. No shame. This is also a good time to grab refreshments if you'd like, but you have to be smart. This is not the time when you're alone at a concert to be on some sort of substance. This is also not the time to down a load of drinks. I think that one cocktail is usually very cute, but ultimately you have to remember that you're in charge of looking out for you. So keep your head on a swivel. If your gut is telling you to avoid a situation, avoid it if you can. Just think smart, okay? After doing my errands, merch, photo op, refreshments, I like to head to my seat a little bit early. Or if it's a GA situation, I like to go and find a spot in the crowd and camp out. And I'll usually read something on my phone or play a game on my phone. Or this is also a really good opportunity to people watch and check out outfits. I'm typically always trying to get to my spot on time because I'm someone who values watching the opener. Some people don't care about the opener, but I do. So it's nice to actually be able to enjoy their performance instead of still running around with a group outside. At that point, once you've settled into either your seat or your spot in GA, some people around you might try to introduce themselves and try to make a friend for the night, which is so, so sweet, but absolutely not required for you to have a good time. Beyond that, the most interaction that I've had is like someone saying they really like my outfit or someone saying, excuse me, as they squeeze past you to get to their seat. I find that it's usually really freeing to be in a crowd of people, but not feel required to interact, if that makes sense. So try to tap into that mindset if you can. The best part about all of this is that once you're settled in your spot, whether you're standing or you have a seat, and there's that lull while you're waiting for the main act to come out, you might start to have this train of thought that's like, OMG, everybody's looking at me. Everybody knows that I'm here alone. Everybody thinks that I'm a weirdo. Before you can even finish that like train of thought, the lights are going to go down. The lights are going to go down and the main act is going to come out on stage and everybody is going to turn and face forward and they're going to scream. And hopefully you'll be screaming too. And no one, absolutely no one is going to be thinking about you. No one's going to be looking at you. No one's even going to be worried about what's going on outside. You will all be living in the moment, unabashedly singing along to a really cool performer, and you'll all be enjoying the entertainment that you paid for. And guess what? Once the artist does their encore and they leave the stage and the lights come up, everyone's main concern is going to be, how do I get out? How do I get out? It's time to go. How do I leave? No one's going to be thinking about you. You will have survived and you're going to have had so much fun. So the amount of time that you might spend feeling awkward for being there alone is actually so small in the grand scheme of the event. You have to try and think of it like going to the grocery store, for example. I'm sure when you go to the grocery store, you're not in there like, OMG, everybody's looking at me and they know that I'm shopping alone. No, in the grocery store, everybody's thinking about groceries. So when you go to a concert, all the people there are thinking about the artists, they're thinking about their little errands they have to run, they're thinking about their friends, or they're thinking about themselves. Like, but in no case are they thinking about you. And you just have to remember, there's no way, there's no way that you are the only person attending the concert alone. There's just no way. Unless it's an audience of one. And the odds are it's not a concert for one. So you'll be safe. If you have any solo concerts coming up, drop a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear who you're going to see and what you're excited about. And as always, I hope you have an amazing rest of today and a wonderful tomorrow. Bye, YouTube.